Well, hello, folks. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well, staying safe. My gosh, Brew, that is some really disgusting, loud camo. So, I wanted to talk about this video because, hey, it's a first for me. This is my 8th Kraken in the game and playing, it'll be 3 years this August. The last 7 Krakens, all to this point, I have lost the game. Anyway, it's just been kind of one of those things. So, this is in one of my favorite tier 5 boats, the Julio's there. And I've got, I call him Linguini Santori, but Luigi Sansonetti, the captain, he's got one amazing skill on battleships that I really love, which is the far reach. I believe if you kill a ship outside of your detectability, I might be speaking wrong, you go up by 8%. So your range for me goes from 16.3 kilometers to 17.7. And hey, this game went really well. Yep, I got a Kraken. Yep, I got 6 kills. And yeah, it happened because of my teammates and the rest of the team. It was a really good game. A bit of strategy on my part. I have a tendency to see things before they're going to happen, which is great. So my team is heading off to the right side. We want to support the right side. You know, it's kind of 50-50. Roll the dice. You don't know exactly where the enemy team's going to go, but I usually find on this map, the enemy team typically likes to go around the I line, the 1 line, the 2 line, and try to cut around that towards mostly the 1 line up to the A line. I don't know why they go around the islands, but a lot of times the teams do that. I'd say over 60% of the time I've seen the bulk of the ships do that. So as we go out and start moving through the game, again, I got a pink Acosta. Don't know why. Don't really care. Our Mitsuki, he starts pushing up a little too much in the game. And what's key for me in this game, the clutch, is my clanmates. I see something unfolding that they don't. And we cannot as a team win this game if they don't do what they did in this game. And they get no kills. They just do a great job holding the entire right side. I already seen some of my team actually pushing up the middle. And except for that Omaha, which I want to talk about later. I think his name is Jay Wood 49. Guy's my hero, and I'll tell you why later on in the game. He's just funny. Immediately following us right now, my teammate Brew, he's on the text on the far right near the island. We're already chatting, and he says, look, they're pushing up. The only thing I worried about was the Nicholas and the Acosta from the team, but they're staying pretty much spotted, which is great. So he decides that he's going to push up on the right side with the other Japanese battleship. He already knows, like me, the Mitsuki's getting into a gunfight with boats that it cannot win at all. So he's gonna die. But he's doing a great job at this point spotting. And me with the Agincourt, which I've done a review on this boat, I forgot how slow it was. So I'm pretty sure this entire shot misses. But the Mizuki's going down here shortly. I got one overbent. At this point, we're down with 3 boats, and I'm telling my team, it's not looking so good. And I can see, this is why I'm already turning around. And you have to ask yourself, how did I miss a camo that bright that you can see for 30 kilometers? I already realized at this point that we are going to lose the left side of this map, the mini-map. I can see it coming. I can also see the Kong and a bunch of other boats coming down that side. My fear was we're going to be put into a crossfire, because my gut tells me the rest of the boats on the right side are coming down exactly what Bruce said in his Texas, that they're coming down the right side. So he decides that he's going to push up, head towards the island where the Kong is today, our friendly Kong, and then from there, he's going to start cutting away. He's going to hold them off, the whole side. I also get worried at this point that I watch as my team is leaving the cap and no one's actually concentrating on the, and there's 2. No one's concentrating, oh sorry, that's 1 now, concentrating on the destroyers. I'm worried about them getting in the cap. And of course, smoking up and no carriers, and they're going to win. So I asked my other teammate, Rosie, to kind of turn around and hang back. So she knows enough to know that you got to protect the cap. She's that player I told you about that loves to play the game. Strategy's not her thing. She's here for the fun, which is great. But she has there's 2. But she has a great idea and she understands. So she's going to turn around and just come to the cap just to make sure our other boats come back and protect it. While Brew decides that he's going to just start heading up, to the right and start kiting away. Eventually, obviously, Brew is going to be outgunned. He's going to slow them down quite a bit as I start heading back to take down the left side. I think I misjudged this guy's speed as well. Like you can tell right now, both the Nicholas and the Acosta are just dying to push up this way. They hang around that general area, around the E4 line, E3, E5. They can't come in here. There's just too much firepower. But they're dying to come in here and smoke up and cap. I can't blame them because there's no CV, so for them it's a pretty easy thing. So I'm gonna literally go completely their side. I'm heading towards the D8 line. That's where I'm pushing to as fast as I can at my blistering 28 knots. I'm worried my team is about to go up the middle, which they kind of end up doing. They don't get killed per se, but they get weakened quite a bit. So later in the battle, a lot of our battleships are going to have little to no health, and that's a bad thing. And if you notice Brew on the right hand side, he's perfectly getting ready to start kiting. They don't know he's there. They think he's the Kong. And, surprise! So he starts coming out and he turns away and starts kiting and slowly just, speed going up and down and just starts shooting and start taking damage. Our clan's in it for the long game, not the short game. And as you can see, Rosie, aka Mrs. Lomax, coming back here. She's going to do a sweep through the cap as our cruisers start coming back in here. Our cruiser that's going to protect the cap is actually already on the far left of the mini-map. He just doesn't know it yet. Now I'm personally going to try to take another shot at this Texas. Ugh. I had some bad shooting in this game. But with that reach technology, or reach advancement from the captain, Linguini, Santore, I now can shoot to 17.7. 16.3 was a norm. There's a good chip shot. I got to give this art player credit, the RP, HEI, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, did a phenomenal job. I think he overextended a few times, that's just my opinion, but again, he wasn't scared to take on the bad guys. And there's Jay Wood 49, our Omaha player. That guy I told you about earlier cracks me up. I'm going to look at him in a few seconds here. He's got no flags, no camo, and probably little to no captain. But that guy is having himself a good game. He's funny. He's backing up, he's turning, he's steering. But I'll give him credit, which is about to come up. He's not going to run into me. He's paying attention to himself. He's learning the game. When you see a player out there that's got absolutely no camo, no flags, either two things. They're brand new to the game or they decided to take the boat out naked by accident. But this guy, he's just having a good time. But like I predicted, there comes the Kong. Down the side, the Kong or Kone? The Kong. I never say the Japanese names. That's actually German, isn't it? Sorry. I'm not a huge battleship player. I've got a few of them, but I haven't done the German battleship line really. I haven't done the Japanese battleship line or the British battleship line. I'm more of a destroyer, cruiser, mostly DD player. Sometimes I'll play carriers. And I'll play with some of my favorite battleships. But I know this guy, if I had let him get through here, him and that Texas eventually would put us in a crossfire. And I'm going to come back to that when we get later on in the video, in the replay. And this guy, unfortunately, does not know who his threat is. He doesn't know I'm here, but he will shortly. And I'm surprised he decided not to change his guns as soon as I was detected. At this point, he should have slowed down and angled and got behind this island, but he didn't. And for that, I got myself some good chip shot. I figured this would take a couple of shots to get him done, but I didn't expect him to do the next thing. And looking at the mini-map, I realized our Texas is running aground, so I want to make this turn I'm about to do as tight as possible in this channel. But I'm good. He's not looking at me, and I'll wait. Because I'm going to kill him this shot. And back to harbor you go, sir. I didn't want to come around this island the wrong way where my current team is. I didn't want to give a Texas a broadside. Texas and New York's, I mean, they're slow, they're clumsy, blah, blah, blah. They have a wicked punch inside of 10 to 12 kilometers. You get within 10 to 8, they can do a heck load of damage to my boat. As you're going to see even later in this video, when I made a little tactical mistake. I got a little too overconfident. But again, if you look at my teammates, Brew's now gone. He's managed to delay those guys on the far side of the map by several minutes. And now Rosie is doing the same thing. She's angled and she's going to sit there and push them. She's going to drive them towards that island. That island where my cruiser I told you about was all the way over the 9 line here. 9 Delta. He's now back over in the cap. The DDs can't get in. So now she's providing cover for that. Again, both my clanmates don't get any kills. They just do a good job. I'm trying to tell this Omaha to spot. And as it comes around, there we go. And I realized this guy did run aground and he's backing up. So he's out of the fight for a good solid 90 seconds. Unless he wants to take some pock shots at people, but he's not a threat to me. Now, if I had gone around the island on the other way, yeah, he could have easily have hit me and probably sit down me because I would have to turn in towards him and waste more time. Little pock shot at the destroyer. Yeah, I missed. You got to remember, for most battleships and most battles are 20 minutes long, which means, including reload time, you get a total of 39 shots, give or take on average, minus the length of a battle. So you don't get to shoot that often. There's no threat, no one around you, no big boys can see you or shoot you. Shoot. Do get a pock shot off on the enemy Texas. Now here's the point. Rosie's going down. She knows it, but she's holding off. They're concentrating on her, but she's holding off. It's a 1v3, and she's gone. But her and Brew have now managed to successfully hold off on that entire side. And here comes Mr. J. Atwood. I love this guy. He's now pushing up. So the one thing I've learned from other, good players like Flamu, Flambas, Mr. Jingles, the Mighty Jingles, is if you're going to get in a game like this, make it 1 versus 1, not 1 versus 3. I know there's more boats and whatnot, but get behind this island. I got 2 battleships and a cruiser, a light cruiser coming around that corner. So I'm going to keep pushing towards that island because I think they want to go that way. At least if I go around the island, it'll put me in an engagement spot, and this will allow me to actually take on the New York first, then the cruiser, then the Agincourt. And the Texas at this point, he's trying to catch up, but he's basically out of the game. And you get to see what a Texas can do to Giulio Cesare when you're not paying attention 100% a bit later. Now, that's 2 of our boats down. The enemy team's got 1 cruiser, 3 battleships, and a destroyer left. We've only got 2 battleships and 2 cruisers. That was a chip shot in the New York. Don't get me wrong, the Giulio Cesare is basically an OP boat. You put this captain on and you get the far reach, it's even better. But the New York and the Texas are not bad ships. But this is the mistake that this guy made. He decided to give me a full broadside. He should have concentrated on the fight he was given with the New York. He should not. I personally would have ran aground and backed up. And by not doing so, made an easy kill for me. Sorry, kill secure. Kind of even the odds out. Now, one of the good things I want to recommend to people at this point with the Agincourt, my teammate, my clanmate Brew, because we can see the Agincourt and the Königsberg, I ask him to sail over that view mode and tell me which way the Agincourt's guns are facing. Right now, they're facing towards the oncoming New York. So I'm like, great. This is going to be too easy for me. I got to take out that Königsberg first. The Königsberg is like the Tier 7 Atlanta. She's very squishy. So if he had gone broadside, he would have got some damage, but now what's about to happen. All of my AP shells are going to arm inside of him. So if you can perfectly angle, sure. But at point blank range, not going to happen. Again, our teams managed to keep the Acosta and that Nicholas, those two guys I told you about earlier, just hanging out in that one area. They couldn't get in the game. Now I'm worried about this Königsberg because he's got torps, 6 kilometer torps. And he turns right in. Right when I got ready to shoot. So I'm like, yep, you're going back to port. And that's the Kraken Unleash, the devastating strike. 2 citadels, exactly what I thought was going to happen. At this point, my clanmate's telling me, Brew, his guns, all 7 turrets, 14 barrels, are looking right at me. So I slow down and hard left. And this is, the Agincourt's not known for its main AP. I mean, that sucked. I angled. And I know exactly from my last review where to hit this boat. Right there. And then my secondaries let him up. The problem with the Agincourt, her secondaries are, versus the Massachusetts, they're just brutal. They can set a boat on fire like mine and burn me down. But he had too much damage. And now this close expert. So now my point of view is I've got the 6 kills I told you about, a Kraken Unleashed. I'm pretty much convinced we're going to win this game now. And this is where I get a little bit stupid. I wanted to farm a little damage from this Texas. I know he's coming around the corner. So I'm ready for him. I gave him a little too much of a wide berth. My bad. But it's a good show because it shows you what the Texas can do, even to an OP boat. I know people criticize the Oklahoma, they criticize the Texas, they criticize the New York. These boats can hurt, especially at close range. But hey, I wanted to get a good broadside into this guy and time it right. I know I'm going to see him over the island before, well, we'll see each other mutually, but there's enough shot that my shells can just go over this last piece of the island before he gets a time to turn out. Comes down to a question, who does the best citadel here and how much damage? Yeah, here comes his. There's my 15. So I got a bit more on him. I win. As always, thanks for coming out. Stay safe and take care of yourself. Bye for now.